Hello everyone. Hello. Happy Monday. It is Shelly Wasso coming to you live from Chicago. Happy Monday. I am here to, what did I say earlier? To show you all how to do it rich. So my name is Shelly Wasso. I'm a full-time corporate executive mama of two amazing boys, married to my high school sweetheart. I am a multipreneur. So I have been focusing on empowering women to live a life of richness. And I'm launching my Do It Rich training to bring to you all my daily blueprint to get clear on your goals, dreaming bigger and manifesting what you want. So I'm super excited to bring that all to you. And today, I am here to tell you, do not let your to-do list control you. Because I think we all get overwhelmed by our to-do list. And one thing, in having conversations with some people recently, I think that some people confuse their goals with their to-do list and we overlap them. So who out there gets confused with what's a goal and what's a to-do list? Let me know. And if you're catching my live video, be sure to say hi. If you catch the replay, hashtag replay, and let me know where you're coming in from, because it's super cool for me to see who's watching. So yeah, let me know. Do you confuse your goals with your to-do list? Because one, we can't let our to-do list control us, and two, we have to get the two straight. It cannot overlap. And I say that, and they do overlap, but we overlap them too much. So your to-do list is not your goals. They are different, and they need to be two separate things. So your goal, I'm going to give you an example, and then I'm going to give you some tips. So an example is, your goal is not to do more TikToks or Reels. That's not your goal. Your goal is to make more money in whatever business it is. So if you have an online business and it's network marketing, or you have a coaching business, or you have a training like myself, like my Do It Rich training, or my network marketing company as well. But your goal is not to do, if you were bringing your business online, is not to do more TikToks or Reels. Your goal is to make X amount of money in, and I'll say it for myself, but whatever your business is. So my goal is to make X amount of money in my Do It Rich training. Your goal would be to make X amount of money in whatever network marketing business you're in. That's your goal. Your TikTok videos or your Reels or whatever it might be, that's your tasks that you need to do to get to your goals, to reach your goals, and those go on your to-do list. So while they flow together, the focus needs to be separated, because your list can be large and overwhelming. So tell me who has the large, overwhelming to-do list. Because I know my to-do list, especially because I'm gonna tell you how I break it down, but the to-do list can be so long and overwhelming, right? Please tell me that I'm not the only one with a long, overwhelming to-do list, because I believe that we all have that long, overwhelming to-do list. So your list is large. There's so much going on and it's busy. The list is busy. So sometimes we have negative feelings towards our to-do list because it is overwhelming, and it can affect how you think about your goals, because again, the to-do list is long, overwhelming, it's busy, there's so much to do, and that can have negative feeling to it. And if you tie that too tight into the goal, you're bringing the negative feelings into your goals, which is why you want to keep them separate, because your subconscious has so much effect on so many things. It actually controls you. Our subconscious controls you. And it is, I think it is it's either 20,000 times or 30,000 times more powerful than our conscious mind. And so we don't want to give it more ammo by bringing negative feeling to it. So because our to-do list is overwhelming, complicated, that has a little bit can have a little bit more negative feeling to it. So we want to keep that separate from our goals, because we don't want to have that negativity, which is somewhat can be built up into your subconscious and then carried through over to your goals. So in my goal setting training, which is again focused clearly on just understanding your goals, getting clear on your goals in all areas of your life. Again, you have to keep them separate. So I'm saying I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to help organize your to-do list. And there was something that I wanted to bring back to you about the goals. Keeping them separate, the subconscious, the list. See, I always make a list here, and you might not always even have it together. But anyway, so keep those separate. Oh, so one thing that I do try to teach you is that when you do clearly write out your goals, to keep those separated, like physically keep that paper and those notes separate from your to-do list, because I like to keep them like not next to each other, so they don't have those feelings next to each other, if that makes any sense. Anyway, the tips on organizing your to-do list, at least these are mine. So the modern day to-do list has like color coded, it's on the computer. I like the old school handwritten list. I don't know about you, but let me know, are you like old school handwritten list, or are you the color coded electronic to-do list? I actually do color code mine, but it is handwritten. So I do like to bring color to mine, but I handwrite it. I don't like the electronic lists too much with the computer. I need to handwrite stuff. So I keep my to-do list separated by sections. So tip number 1 is to I have 4 tips for you. Tip number 1 is to have one master list, but I keep them separated into buckets. So I have like personal and business, and then my business is cut down into my network marketing, my corporate, and my Do It Rich training. So my business has 3 buckets, and then my personal has a list. So I have one long list, and then I break that down, separate it into personal and business. And then my tip number 3 is that I have 3 must-haves for the day, and not 3 must-haves from each bucket, because that would be way too many, but just 3 must-haves for the day. And it might just come from various buckets. It just depends. You can have more must-haves, but with my schedule and my corporate job, 3 is plenty. And then I like to, besides write down my 3, I try to on Sunday write down ahead of time like which 3 I'm going to focus on which days. But I'm a huge Post-it person, like who loves Post-its. I found a meme of this like guy laying there with Post-its all over his face and his arms in his desk, and I'm like, that is totally me. I have Post-its everywhere. So I like to write them on Post-its too, because it's an extra reminder in front of me. I don't always have to have my book open, because I'm, usually that book is just too much to have that open and all the other work I'm doing. So I like to also have them written on a Post-it. That's my tip number 3. Tip number 4 is your dailies, in my mind, don't need to be written down. Some people probably need to write them down, but I don't need extra written down because I already have a long enough list. So my exercise, gratitude, goals, reading, those kind of things, I call my dailies. They're things that happen no matter what, so I actually don't write them down. I know some people need to write that stuff down and schedule it in. Those are like automatics for me. Like there's no if, ands, or buts. I am not having a morning most of the time. I would say that's 90% of the time. But exercise, gratitude, goals, reading, it's all stuff. Well, I don't read every morning, but exercise, gratitude, goals every morning, usually, no matter what. So those are things that don't have to, in my mind, be written down because we have so many other things to write down. And then the last thing is to decide how long is too long before you take it off your list. So is that a month for you or every quarter? So do you have those things that like just stay on your list forever? Because I have a couple, like getting a new passport or some things that might take longer. Renewing your driver's license, whatever it might be, some of those things that might be on your list that might take longer, there needs to be a point in time where they have to come off the list. So you need to decide what that is, if that's every quarter or if that's once a month. But sometimes we keep things on the list too long, and then it just gets like a habit of it's on that list, and it's okay that it stays on there forever before do you ever like every year write the same goal and you don't hit what that goal is because you're doing the same goal and you're not creating new habits? So same goal, I'm writing it down. Same goal over again, I'm writing it down, and you're not hitting that goal because you need to change something up. So you need to force yourself to be like, if I don't get this done, it's coming off my list. That is my tip number 4. And then just remember, your to-do list never ends, but your goals have an end date. So your to-do list is forever. It's always going to be there. Our goals, we want to reach our goals, whether that's in 90-day increments, in 1-year increments, whatever it is. If you have a 5-year goal, you want to reach the goal and be done with it. And your to-do list lasts all the time. That is never going away. So hopefully you found that to be helpful. Remember, try to keep them separately so your goals could have nothing negative tied to them whatsoever. And then just remember this, have one master list for your to-do list. Keep them separate, personal and business. 3 must-haves a day, and I love Post-its. And then your dailies do not need to be written down, and then decide how long before it comes off your list if you don't do it, because there's no reason to keep it on there. So hopefully you found that to be of value. I am super excited. First training is coming officially February 21st. So if you haven't gotten information on that, be sure to ask because I would love to share with you. And stay warm because here in Chicago, it is still freezing. Happy Monday.